Welcome to Book Tease. I'm your host, Jamie, and this is the podcast that reminds you that even the mom next door likes her fiction filthy. Speaking of being a mom, we are in our Dark Academia series, and y'all, I was not prepared. My daughter started kindergarten this month, and it's been a blast. She's been enjoying it. We did the back to school shopping, all the things. So excited, big girl school. But I was not prepared for all the things. Like, she's exhausted by 7 now. Getting her up and getting her out the door on time has been a task. She's wanting to change her outfits in the morning. And I remember doing this to my parents. But to be on the other side of it, I feel like calling my daddy up and saying, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh my God. And the pickup line, it has just been an adventure. So yeah, I haven't been on the socials as much because holy shit, I am just struggling over here to survive the start of school. But I think we're getting it going. We're finally in a groove just in time for the last book of this series. And y'all, it is a good one. Okay. We are talking Nightshade. And this book is a new book to me. It was on my TBR. I was like, okay, it'll be a good one. I love to throw in, like I said last week, throw in some new books that I've never read to give you like my first impressions. And oh fuck, I loved it. It's jumped up to one of my favorites. I loved this book. So let's get into it. And as a reminder, this podcast does contain spoilers. So if you've not read this book, you might want to pause and read the book and come back. I won't hit every single plot point, but I will spoil the overarching plot line of the book. Again, Nightshade. This is by Autumn Woods, and it is book 1 in the Sorrowsong University duology, Duet, whatever. There's only 2. And it's not on Kindle Unlimited. So let's go. Welcome to Sorrowsong University, where the rich, ruthless, and ridiculously attractive come to study. It's in the Scottish Highlands, y'all. I loved this aspect. I've been to the Scottish Highlands. It is breathtaking. It is spiritually amazing. I fucking loved Scotland. I talked about it before, so I won't go off. But yeah, this is set in Scotland in the Highlands, and our FMC is Ophelia. That's right. I said that so much. Every time I picked the book up, I started singing it. I love the name Ophelia. Okay, it's gorgeous, and yeah. So this is Ophelia Winters, is our FMC, and she is from Scotland, and she's not wealthy. Both of her parents worked for Sorrowsong University. And both of her parents died in a tragic helicopter accident on their way home from work from Sorrowsong University. They were flying on a little personal jet that I guess Sorrowsong allows employees to use to get home faster, and it crashed. So she was a widow. She was an orphan. But because her parents worked at Sorrowsong, they allowed her to have a scholarship if she swam, because she's a wonderful athletic, competitive swimmer. So they're like, if you swim for our team, you can have a scholarship here. And then you can, she always wanted to go to school, but she is struggling financially. She does it all on her own. So she wants to finish her psychology degree. And this school just happens to be good for that. I mean, it's a very prestigious school. It is weird, okay? Because we've talked about, it seems like every school has been a really prestigious, hard to get into school that usually the FMC is able to get into via scholarship. That seems to be the setup for most of these books. I'm not mad about it, but that's what it is. Or in the case of On Wings of Blood, she was forced to attend. But okay, the thing about Sorrowsong is it's a legacy school, which, we've heard that too. But it's the legacy. It's okay. It reminds me of The Descendants. And I'm showing my motherhood of a young kid here. But it's all VKs, villain kids. It's a legacy school for villain kids, essentially. Everyone there, their parents is into some shady shit for the most part. I mean, I'm sure there's some kids that are in there that are just chilling, but most of these kids have parents that are into some shady shit. You've got, and they all talk about, oh, what'd your parents do to get you in here? Some of them are CEOs. Some of them are mafia. There is just it's like that's a prerequisite. And the only reason she's able to get in is because her parents worked there. And she's a good swimmer. Or an excellent swimmer, actually. So, let's get back to this helicopter crash. Because that circles this entire book, is this helicopter crash that killed her parents. It is a shady deal, okay? This was a new helicopter, went through all the checks, everything seemed perfect, and then it just mysteriously crashed. Not only did it mysteriously crash, but it's been totally covered up. She can't search her parents' deaths because it's just like it never existed. So of course, she has an ulterior motive for going to this school. Again, we've heard that before. There's a pattern, but she knows who is responsible for killing her parents, or she thinks she knows who is responsible for killing her parents. And she wants to gather enough information to bring them down. Let's get into Sorrowsong University. There are 4 houses in Sorrowsong, very much like Harry Potter, very much like some of the other books we've talked about. On Wings of Blood comes to mind, where they were the 4 houses. There's Hemlock House. They're all poison names. Kind of love it, but it adds to the gothic, atmospheric vibes, having all the... I mean, I just want to pause. If you're going to a university that it's supposed to be bettering your life, learning things, starting off your future here, do you want it associated with death or ghosts or mysteries or poisons? I don't know, but that is the setup for all of these books, it seems like. And in this case, we have poison. So Hemlock, these are the strong, driven students. It's very Harry Potter-esque, okay? They're strong, driven students focused on physical and mental challenges and athletics. So I guess this is like the Gryffindor house, okay? Nightshade is the elite legacy villain students. Okay, these are all the VKs go, is in Nightshade. These are the CEOs, bankers, mafia families. This house and the housing for it is more secluded. It has its own gym and bars. So I'm guessing this is like the Slytherin house, right? Then we have Cordinar, which is not really talked about at all. They're kind of, I guess, the Hufflepuff. It's like, oh, there's those people over there. No one really talks about. And then there's Snake Root, and those are the medical students, the future surgeons. So that's Fairy Ravenclaw. Okay, so that's the breakdown. She's thinking she is for sure going to be in Hemlock, right? Because she is a swim student. She's there for the swim team. She's driven. She has a goal. She is, but no. She gets put in Nightshade. Let's pause on that and talk about her first day. It's raining when she arrives. It's her first day. She's almost run over by a really hot dude. Enter Alex Corbo Green. He is moody, gorgeous, and he gives her a ride, and she's very prickly to him. And he's like, what the fuck? I'm being nice to you. I'm sorry I almost ran you over. It's raining. I can't see. It's low visibility. I did stop and I offered you a ride and I'm being very nice to you and you're dripping water and mud all over my car and I'm not saying a damn thing about it. And she's very prickly and rude to him, which he's used to people kissing his ass because his dad is a very important man and he's very, very rich. And so, yeah. They have banter, quick wit. There's a lot of tension. It's really cute. It's really sexy. She is sassy, y'all. She has some quick wit. She has no problem telling people like it is. I said the stuff about Salem in Enigma, the quick wit, the intelligence. However, Salem didn't have a lot of emotional vulnerability, right? She was more guarded, just kind of, that was her personality, not overly emotional. Not the case with Ophelia. She is an emotional person, okay? She has bouts of just like, okay, I'm gonna go lay in my bed and be upset, right? And oh my God, it was annoying, but it was also very realistic. Come on, hello, college age girls with the drama. I remember just being like, I'm done for the day, and like laying in bed watching Buffy on the weekend if I was annoyed or upset about something. So I wanted to be agitated with her and just be like, why are you laying in bed eating saltines? Get up and get something done. But I mean, honestly, especially at age like 21, it's realistic. Okay, it turns out the reason she's so prickly with Alex Corbo Green is because he is the son of the man that she believes is responsible for killing her parents. They own the aviation company, the helicopters that were used at are used at Sorrowsong. The very same brand of helicopter that crashed and killed her parents, that she believes was a murder and not an accident, and she believes was covered up by a very powerful, shady man. Hello, Alex's father. His name's like Kane or something. Who cares? Anyway, so that's what she's, prickly about. She's like, I don't want to, you're my enemy. You may not know it. You may not know who I am because I guess you don't, but I know who you are and I know who your father is. And I think y'all are all assholes and I am ready to bring you down and ruin your whole life. That's her plan. All right, let's get back to the houses. She wants to be in Hemlock House, like I said, but she ends up in Nightshade. Much to her being very pissed off, she has Alex's attention as well as Vincenzo. They call him Vin, and he's fucking great. I'm ready for him to have his own book. I loved Vin. Everyone loved Vin. I looked at some of the reviews on this book, and everyone loves Vin. God, he's hilarious. He's sweet. He's enduring. You can't not like Vin. That's just how he is. He's like cute puppy dog, but he's also next in line to run an Italian mafia family. So he could be ruthless and he could be dangerous, but he's also just so fun and sweet and like a puppy dog. And I love Vin so much. And his sister is Belladonna. I swear I'm not making it up. So Belladonna she is ruthless. And Vin keeps saying, hey, she's the one who really should be next in line. But instead it's me, and I couldn't tell you why, because she is fucking like badass woman. Belladonna is the captain of the swim team. Just throw that out there because being as she's in Nightshade and on the swim team, Ophelia ends up getting thrust into this group dynamic. I mean, Alex is intrigued by her. Vince is Alex's best friend, and Vince's sister Belladonna is in charge of the swim team. So now all three of these people are in her life, whether she wants it or not, because she's been seen talking to both Vince and Alex. Vin, they call him Vin, but I keep calling him Vince. Vin and Alex. She gets the attention from two Russian twins. Okay? Because this Russian family and the Russian mafia family and Vin's Italian mafia family, they're at odds with each other. They're rivals. The Russian family blames Vin's family for taking over some of their territory or whatever. So they're fighting each other, right? And these twins just assume, because Vin and Alex speak to Ophelia, which, I mean, Alex just thinks she's hot. Vin thinks she's fun. And that's why. Because he's like, this is that chick I picked up in the rain. And was really kind of rude to me. And I would like to know why, because I'm used to people kissing my ass. You know, I mean, he's a celebrity. He's a celebrity because he comes from such a rich family. And they're so prominent, I guess, in society. He's used to people kissing his ass. And he was like, this chick here, she's gorgeous. Look at all that beautiful red hair. Stop. I swear, the redheads, like, Dark Academia loves a redhead. And so do I. So, they assume that she's a spy. And so it's a weird leap, but that's what they do. They're used to the dynamics. Like I said, this is a house for VKs essentially, and they're used to everything being an underhanded deal. Meanwhile, poor Ophelia is just there trying to get a psych degree and bring down the person responsible for killing her parents. You know, just keeping it chill. So, Sophia is the female Russian twin. Of course, she ends up being assigned as Ophelia's roommate. Of course, because we need some tension. We need some drama. So she makes a habit of threatening Ophelia, like standing over her when she's asleep. Just everything to be creepy. Telling her, I'm going to kill you in your sleep. You don't even know. Anyway, Ophelia has nerves of steel. She is like, whatever. Get over yourself. But she also has a bunch of old lady habits, which becomes kind of like a joke in the book. The girl loves a crossword. She likes rereading classic literature. Her favorite is The Great Gatsby. And she has to do a crossword a day. I mean, she's just like, loves doing these old lady things. I mean, it's her favorite pastime. So Ophelia and Alex get paired together for a class project. He really likes her and has zero idea why she's so mean to him, but he is like intrigued. She keeps digging to find out what happened to her parents. And then all of a sudden she has a stalker. It's like, oh, people know you're digging. People know something's going on with you. And so she ends up with a stalker. They're sending cryptic, weird emails quoting passages from classic literature. Of course, she all knows it. And she thinks it's Alex. Why does she think it's Alex? Literally, no one knows why she thinks it's Alex. Just because she doesn't like his dad. Hey, guess what? If you spoke to him, he doesn't like his dad either. Okay, he knows his dad's an asshole. But she thinks it's Alex, and then she starts thinking it's the chancellor. The one that runs the school. Her emails with Alex are amazing, unrealistic, but amazing. It is hilarious, okay? The stuff of fantasies, essentially. He will email her because she refuses to give him her phone number. And she has to talk to him for this project, which is weird that this project was assigned on like the first day of school, first off. Two, it's like a month-long project. And I'm not even really sure what all the project entails. It's just a vehicle to get them to have to spend time together. Forced proximity because of this project. So the project itself doesn't really matter, but he has to speak to her about it. She won't give him a phone number, so he just emails her on her school email. Moving on, she's drugged. Her roommate is killed. But this university plays by our own rules. That's right. Sophia gets killed. She wakes up and finds her in her bed. And so she's freaking out. Alex is apparently like a room down, so I guess they don't care. Everything's co-ed here. And he comes to her room because she's screaming and is like, what is going on? Finds out what happens. Of course, his VK mind jumps into action and he brings her to his room. And so they can pretend like she's not even there. So when security and all that shows up and finds Sophia dead, it's like, well, where is Ophelia, her roommate? And then, they're knocking on doors and he's pretending like they spent the night together. Great for him because he really would like to spend the night with her, even though she hates him. And of course, this gets them paired up automatically. Everyone thinks they're together. And so if she doesn't want to be accused of killing her roommate, she kind of has to go with it. She ends up getting closer to Alex because they're pushed together a lot. I mean, she's intrigued by him. He's intrigued by her. He's so nice to her. He's doing things for her. He's like, why do you hate me? And she does not want to tell him why. She is fighting with herself about, why should I even like this dude? His father killed my parents, or at least that's what she's assuming. And now everyone thinks they're together. That's his girlfriend, everyone thinks. And he's ready to play into it because he likes her anyway. And so she starts hanging out with him more. And they actually start speaking. And then they really start liking each other. And she finds out that he doesn't even like his dad. And that his dad's a big asshole to him. And they end up falling in love. She still hasn't told him the truth. But at least she's kind of honest about being dishonest. Like, she tells him, there's things I don't want to tell you. And he respects that. He's like, okay. I think this is a big deal. And if she just would have spoke up about it, it would have cut down on a lot of the plot line and a lot of the tension if she just spoke up. But she doesn't. She falls in love with him. She really trusts him. She's like, okay, I don't want to bring down his entire family. She's finding out that this man is dealing with depression, dealing with an overbearing father that he hates. His mother has an illness caused by several things. It's kind of like a bipolar disorder and severe self-esteem issues. And she has these episodes and she's under a lot of different treatments. But she is a very sweet, loving mother, and he has like 7 sisters. I don't even know. She's got a fuckload of sisters, okay? He has 7 younger sisters that he needs to take care of. His father is actively trying to get him kicked out of the business. His dad is a complete asshole, and his mother has a mental illness. So even though he is only 23 and battles depression, like severe depression, he has a lot on his plate, making sure he's taking care of his sisters. He's showing up as the father figure for his sisters. He shows up at all of their events, and he's trying to get through school on his own. He is actively trying to take over the company when his time comes because he wants to get his father out because his father has shady dealings and he's such a jerk and he's too powerful. So Alex is working this whole thing in his own way. And that's why I'm like, if they just spoke, she would understand all this, but she just doesn't want to even tell him. But they fall in love. He does a lot of sweet things for her. And so she decides to abandon her revenge plot that she's been working on for the past 4 years since her parents' death. And what it is, she's got this document, this running document on her computer, and it contains all the information she's gotten on Alex's dad. And she even hypothesized in the document that his mother probably knew about it. I mean, her main goal is to bring the whole family down. But now that she's actually getting to know the family, she's getting to know Alex and everything he has to deal with. She's talked to his mother. She has met his sisters. She is like, okay, I love this family. They have pulled me in. It's just his dad that's an asshole. And Alex doesn't like his dad. She doesn't know the extent of it. She knows Alex doesn't even like his dad. So then Christmas happens. And they chat constantly. And Ophelia is alone in her empty house with very little food and a broken heater. Okay? Like I said, her parents weren't wealthy. And since they're gone, she's having to try to go to school and make enough money to keep the house and stuff. So when the heater breaks, she can't fix it. And this is Scotland in the middle of winter, y'all. It is fucking cold. Okay? I went in April and it was fucking cold. So she's by herself. All the friends she has at Sorrowsong that she's made, they went to their own homes. Alex went to his home with his 7 sisters and his mother, and he's having a lovely little Christmas. And he's messaging her and talking to her because they're officially together. And she's just sitting in there by herself trying to pick up some shifts at this, I think, nursing home that she works at. And she doesn't want to tell Alex because he's having a nice Christmas, but he knows something is up. Plus, he just wants to see his girlfriend he's in love with. Okay? So he shows up. He just shows up. And she's upset about it. And she's like, you shouldn't have came. I guess she's a little embarrassed, too, that this is her situation. But she finally tells him about her parents. Because at this whole time, he didn't even know her parents died. Like, he just assumed they were kind of neglectful. And he was actually kind of mad at him for not showing up at things or not contacting her. And so now he knows, oh, they're gone. But she does not tell him about the document. She does tell them about her hatred for his father and that her parents died on the Corbeau Bleu or whatever, the plane. And, or not a plane, the helicopter and all of that. And that she blames his dad and all of the things. And he's like, well, I'm planning to bring him down anyway. And so she doesn't tell him about the document because she is like, okay, he's got his own plan. I'll help him with that plan. I won't do this because I don't want it to affect his whole family. I love his family. I love him. So she deletes the document because she realizes how much she loves Alex. But she doesn't tell him that she loves him. She doesn't tell him about the document. Like, she is withholding all of these things. And it is very annoying. It's very annoying, but it does advance the plot. So they return to Sorrowsong, and she has an advisor meeting. During her advisor meeting, she catches a whiff of her stalker's cologne. So apparently this cologne is like an Old Spice situation. It is very noticeable. It's like heavy with the cloves, and it like is nauseating. And she really, really knows what this smells like because her stalker tried to kill her. And I just kind of glimpsed over that. But she swims a lot in the lake that's there. And while she was swimming one day, she was attacked. She never saw who did it, but she knows it was her stalker. And he held her under the water. And she smelled that cologne. And she almost died. Alex saved her. He showed up and he saved her and did CPR, and Belladonna's a nurse. That's what she's gone to school for, and she has been doing her residency. So she shows up, and I mean, like, they get her, and she's okay, and Alex takes care of her. But she smells that heavy clove, allspice type of smell. And then she also smells it lingering when she wakes up and finds Sophia dead. So she's very familiar with that scent, and she is like, okay, I know that's a bad thing. But she smells it while she's sitting in her advisor's office, even though he's been very kind to her, and he talks about how he knew her mother and blah, 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 and she thought he was going to be a kind person. So she's like, oh shit, it's the advisor. And so she tries to make an excuse to leave, but he ends up attacking her, and they end up in the woods. I honestly guessed that it was the advisor because that does seem to be what it is. And Enigma ended up being the kind advisor. Right? It's always the person that you are supposed to least expect. So Alex is at a poker game, but he's obsessed with her. And so he's not paying attention. Instead, they're texting. And he's like, she's not texting me back in a little bit. What's going on? What's that? He's like, oh, she's in her advisor meeting with so-and-so. And then another person's like, oh, he's kind of weird. That guy's kind of weird. And he's like, well, how so? And he goes, well, one time I walked in and caught him fucking around with one of the gardeners. It was really strange. And that puts the pieces together because they had worked out that Ophelia's mother had an affair with someone who worked there. And that's kind of what ended up being their downfall. Like, that's one of the reasons this hit was put on them, was because of that. And so he's at this poker game and he's like, oh, fuck, he's her stalker. That was the guy her mother was having an affair with because she was a gardener. So Ophelia's not responding. And he's like, that's her stalker. We all need to go. And since they're all like mafia kids and CEOs and like they're all the VKs, they jump into action. And I just want to note, there are perks to being friends with villains, I guess. Because they all jump into action. And he bought her earbuds for Christmas, some really nice AirPods or whatever. And he ends up tracking them and gets on like the Find My phone. And he finds her in the woods with the advisor, and she has stabbed him. And she's freaking out because she stabbed him and he's going to die and blah, blah, blah. So he does die. Vin shows up and they dispose of the body. And there's a very funny moment where like Vin makes a joke with one of the body parts, or they're like cutting him up. And she freaks out and is like, ah, like... And it really gives you insight that even though Vin is such a fun goofball, they're so used to this sort of thing. It's like, oh, blood, death, cleaning up crime scenes, like it's just a Tuesday, like zero effect. And she, like, it really solidifies, oh, okay, these are my friends. This is what I'm, dealing with. But they cover up everything. They decide we're going to bring down Alex's father together. Ophelia is now safe from her stalker. They're in love because it's like, okay, I'm not stalked anymore. Now I'm safe. No one's going to be threatening my life. And we've got this plan to bring down his father together. And I'm over here wondering, what the hell is the second book even going to be about? This seems like it's wrapped up. They're going to bring down his father. They're in love. They're going to be together. They're, whatever. Well, Alex wakes up to 100 missed calls and messages. This is after this has happened. They're in bed, cuddled up, and his mother had a bad episode. And his father threatened to kill her. And then his sister was injured. And it's all in the news. And what sparked all this is Ophelia's document exposing Alex's father has been leaked to the press. Ophelia's name is all over it. It's out there that she's the one who sent it off. And so his sisters are hurt. They're like, she leaked this document. Why did she do this? Vin leaves to protect Alex's family in Paris. Like, they're in Paris. He goes to be with them because Alex has to go to New York to confront the board and get his father removed because his father's disappeared. Now that everyone knows all his shady dealings, everyone knows that he was responsible for the hit on Ophelia's parents, among other things. Like, she put all his business out there. And he has to go get him removed. So he's like, okay, well, this was my plan all along, to take over as CEO and get him removed and, all of that. But I guess now I'm going to have to enact it. And he's tearing himself up and feeling so guilty because he's in love with Ophelia. His depression hits really, really hard. And he's thinking of killing himself. And he's like, I can't do it. I've got my sisters counting on me. My mother's counting on me. He talks to his therapist. He's always talking to his therapist, which I think is really, really great. As someone who's battled depression and still battles depression quite a bit, there are some days that it truly feels like a battle. I mean, it feels like a hard battle that you might lose. And it's so nice to see. And I've seen people hate on Alex for this, like, oh, he's a simp or whatever. But no, I think it's just very realistic. This poor boy is only 23. And now he's having to take over his father's company, this very large company, as CEO, and deal with the fact that his father's in all these shady dealings, take care of 7 kids and a mentally ill mother. He has to be, and he can't even like have his girlfriend as his emotional support because he has to deal with the fact that she may be the one who caused all this trouble. So of course you're going to feel depressed. Of course you're going to be upset. Of course you're going to feel defeated. And I love that they kept that representation in there. So that's what he does. He goes to New York and he's feeling guilty about it because he wants to go be with his sisters, but Vin goes to be with her sisters. Ophelia wakes up alone because she's had a bad night. She killed somebody. And so she was sleeping heavily. She wakes up alone and she has several missed calls of her own. She finds out what happened and finds out that the email was sent from her account on her old laptop. But she's not the one who did it. She deleted it. She rushes to the airport to find Alex before he leaves. To promise she didn't do it, but he doesn't want to talk to her. He is trying to actively not kill himself. He is going off to do some stuff he doesn't want to do, and he does not want to talk to her. So he doesn't even acknowledge her. He gets on the plane. His depression is hit. It's in full swing, and I mean, it is emotional devastation at its highest, and that's the cliffhanger ending. Ophelia gets an email from her stalker that's like, you can't bury me, and it has a photo as an attachment of her and Alex standing over the body, showing that they killed her advisor, and there's some blackmail. I mean, it is just, oh my God, the emotional devastation is amplified because the bonus chapter, okay, there is a bonus chapter, and it is their meeting on that first day from Alex's point of view, which just kind of adds a little knife to the heart because it's like what he was thinking about how gorgeous she is and how intrigued he is by, man, she's funny, she's sassy. What is she doing? Like, she is not impressed by me. And he likes her from the jump. And then it's like she's his downfall, but not intentionally. And it is just, so you're like, that's what they're going to do in the next book because they're not together anymore. He doesn't even know she's not the one who did this, but it is her fault because she did not ever tell him about this document or about her plan or anything. And she really should have. I'm obsessed. I needed to read the second book and I have, and it was great. And the writing is beautiful. It is sensational. It is very poetic. It is atmospheric. It is what I think Enigma wanted to be. As far as like the poetic writing, and I think that's what Enigma was going for, but this book actually landed it. So I do think Vin needs his own sister. I mean, he needs his own story. I adore him in Belladonna. I want to know what that poor man is up to because his dad is a ruthless mafia man, but he is a very loving and sweet dad. He really is. He's hilarious. Gruff, mean dude, but he is so sweet to his kids. This book ended me with a knife in the heart. I was like, oh my God. I'm giving it a 5. It made me want to cry. I thought it was so sweet and emotional, and I'm not usually into books that make me want to cry, but I ate this one up. I loved it. The spice level is only a 2, though. There is spice. It does happen. It does not describe it graphically. You just know it happened. This book rests more on the like tension and the longing and all of that. This book really rests on that. Let's dive into some quotes. This is Alex when he finds her half drowned and he is trying to revive her and he's freaking out and he's calling Belladonna, and this is what he says to her. This is Alex. Don't die. Don't leave me. You occupy my mind. Those stupid crosswords. You're those for me. You're the cage for my thoughts. She told him she likes, and I get this. She likes crosswords because they're the cage for her thoughts. They are a way for her to focus her mind on something else and rein in her thoughts and not get over. It keeps her from getting too into the weeds or getting lost to her thoughts and being tormented by them. If she can focus on a crossword, then her mind is at peace for a little bit. And I feel that way about puzzles. I like to work on a jigsaw puzzle on the weekend, one of those 1,000-piece puzzles, because being able to just focus on a puzzle and being in the same room with my family, but not necessarily interacting with them as much, just being able to sit there and focus my mind on something other than our problems, other than difficulties with the business or whatever is going on. It really helps focus your mind on something that's more positive and enjoyable and not get lost in your thoughts, because it does keep the depression at bay to just be able to focus your mind on something else and quiet it a bit. So I loved it being described as a cage for your thoughts. Okay, this is Alex. I really like a lot of what Alex says, because that man, he is so deep and poetic and sweet, and he's just my favorite. Okay. A smile graces her pinkening lips, and my God, it's a smile that is going to ruin my life. It's a smile I will replay in my head each night as I lie in that blissful space between awake and asleep. This man falls for her first and falls hard, hard, hard. He loves a redhead. He loves her freckles. He thinks she is just the most beautiful person. All right, this is Alex again. Did I have anybody that's not Alex? I do have one Ophelia quote coming up. But other than that, it's Alex. This is Alex. Ophelia feels like finding another human after months in the desert, a light permeating the thick black cloud. When my wayward mind wanders, it staggers back home to her. She's everything I've been asking the universe for, and she fucking hates me. This is before he finds out why she fucking hates him. This is Ophelia after she ends up killing her advisor. I'd be lying if I said ridding the world of another evil didn't feel good. Manslaughter, 6 out of 10, enjoyed it. Might not do it again, though. She's got wit, dude. She's funny. 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Might not do it again, though. This is Alex after the article comes out, and it's attributed to Ophelia, and he is spiraling. He has said his world was gray because of everything he has to deal with, and his depression and his mother's illness and just all the pressure on him. His world is gray. He's kind of an artist, but he only draws like in black and white. He wanted to be an architect. He's really fascinated with architecture. However, he knows he has to take over as CEO, even though he doesn't want to. So, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of positive other than, he loves his sisters, but they're also his responsibility, only 23. So he says that she is the color in his world, especially that bright orange red hair. He just says she is like the orange thread bringing light to his life. It is very sweet. That's how he describes her. So when he wakes up to this is what he has to say about it. I'd never been fine, not until her. I knew she would poison me in the end. She warned me 100 times, but I didn't listen. My lungs are so full of her, there's no more room to inhale. My ray of sun has blistered my skin. My orange thread of hope is a noose around my neck. Tell me that doesn't wrap around your heart and rip it out. Oh my God. My sun has blistered my skin. Oh. My orange thread of hope is a noose around my neck. Oh, it broke my heart. Emotional devastation. I'm getting teary-eyed already. All right, this is Alex. this is before all that happened, right? He's telling her, like, he knows that she hates him. He doesn't know why, but this is what he tells her. Then I'll love you with the same intensity that you hate me. I'll hold on to you just as hard as you push me away. I'll fix you like you're fixing me. I'll always be here, Ophelia. I'll sit at the bottom of valleys and stand on the top of mountains with you. God. Alex, you angel baby. And this is Alex again. Ophelia is my deadly nightshade. She's bad for me. I know what she'll do to me, but she's too beautiful, too enticing. She's too deep in my bloodstream already, painful and ecstatic all at once. Oh my God. And it's because she has warned him against her so many times. She's like, Alex, no, you can't like me. I don't love you. I don't like you. We have to fight each other. And he's like, I don't know all the extent as to why. And then he said that after he found out why she hates him. It's your father. He's responsible for my parents' death. I know it was his plane. I know it. And then he confirms it talking to his dad. He confirms that it was a hit that was put on her parents. And he's like, I don't know why. I just know it was. And whoever asked for it blackmailed me because they found out I was having an affair, and I didn't want your mom to know. So I said, okay. And I did it because who cares? Doesn't affect me at all. So anyway, he tells her, look, you're allowed to hate me because of that, but I'm going to hold on to you and love you. And this is the last one. And this is something they say repeatedly, okay? Because she's like, I can't like you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, just give me until midnight. Just give me until midnight. The night that he rescued her from being suspected of Sophia's murder, he had her in there, and he's like snuggling her in bed pretty much. And he's like, just give in until midnight. After midnight, you're free to go. We can be enemies again, but just give this until midnight. Let's just not fight. So this is Alex. Give me until midnight. For my own sanity, let yourself be loved until midnight. And then a little bit later, he goes, midnight 100 years from now. I just thought that was so cute and so sweet. And Alex made my heart sigh and break at the same time. All right, here we go for casting. Again, I got to look at some beautiful redheads. I'm going with Ellie Bamber. She was in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which I feel like I need to watch because that seems right up my alley. She was in Les Miserables, the TV series, and she was in the Willow TV series, which I loved the movie Willow. I was not able to watch the Willow TV show, but I have a feeling I would love it if I was able to. So that's who I'm going with. I think she's got that, first, the beautiful hair, but she's kind of got that studious appeal to her that I think Ophelia really has. Ophelia doesn't care about what she's wearing. She wears some like thrift store items. She doesn't have the money. She loves doing crosswords. She is an old lady in a very pretty 20-something body, okay? For Alex, I am going with a young Marlon Teixeira, and he is a Brazilian fashion model. I think it fits. Alex is Parisian and I think Italian. I think he's just got that. Marlon's got this. He's just beautiful. He's just beautiful. I don't know if he can act. I don't care. I'm going on pure aesthetic. I think he fits how I picture Alex. And so that's what I'm rolling with. That brings an end to this episode and our Dark Academia series. I've already released what next month is going to be. We're going to have fun. Okay, next week we are lighting it up, y'all. We are doing sports romances, and there is a book boyfriend, whatever sport you're into, and I love it, and it's going to be fun. So we've already done our draft, Get ready to play. I can't wait. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this episode, please rate, review, subscribe, and all the things. And until next time, stay spicy. And that's it for this episode of Book Tease. Book and theme reveals and episode commentary can be found at TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Book Tease Pod. Theme music is by The Scraps, and until next time, stay spicy.